Okay, finally. Now we have a guest. What's up?
Doing all right.
What's up, man? How old are you?
I'm 30. How old are you?
I'm now also in my 30s. All right, bro. 20 minutes on the clock. What's up? Talk to me.
All right. So, universal healthcare. I agree, but I just kind of want to see like what your thoughts on like how we could accomplish that, because it's a question I ask myself all the time. So,
Yeah, sure. There are several different ways that we could accomplish it. Um, what was one option? I think that was a good option that we had, but Obama kind of slipped up on not doing it. Was the public option that was going to go within the, excuse me, with the ACA, with the Obamacare back in 2010. That's
right,
what it was going to be. It was going to be a completely public option that the government was just going to provide like insurance. It was going to be like a Medicaid for all type of thing. You see what I'm saying? I think that right there, a public option alongside with all the private options, will probably be the best thing for America right now because, of course, America, the way that it is, we want our private healthcare and everything like that. So the
right,
public option is something I think that we should definitely do. If not that, then something similar to the public option, which is basically Medicare for all. We're all paying into the Medicare system right now if you work. So just
yeah,
open it up to everybody instead of just waiting till we're 62. Anybody can go ahead and get it. And with Medicare, you pay premiums anyway. So it's not like
true,
you're not going to be paying that anymore. Since we're paying into the Medicare system, just go ahead and start paying the premiums for it, and boom, you have Medicare, and it covers everything. And the third way, which is the way Bernie Sanders wanted to do it, was just completely universal health care. The government covers everything. There's no private insurance at all. With the culture of America, I'm not sure that would work. You see what I'm saying? Because in other countries, it's completely universal. There's no private health care, or how Bernie wants to do it, the way I read it from him, completely universal, covers everything, even dentistry. The only thing it doesn't cover is cosmetic surgery. And for that, you will need private insurance. Something like that, I'm not sure would work in the United States because of the culture that we have.
hmm.
But I think the first two would work.
I think the first two would work, and I think the third one could work. Um, and I just want to preface this by saying I'm not right and or left leaning. I kind of waste my vote every year. But I feel like it would work if we would stop spending so much on foreign aid. And I'm not just talking Ukraine. I'm not talking Israel. Like I'm just saying, like annually, the U.S. spends more money in foreign aid than any other country and or continent on the face of this planet. So I feel like if we were to cut back on that,
Mhm.
um, I feel like it could universal healthcare could be absolutely attainable for us. And I even think that even free college could be a thing too if we would just cut foreign aid spending
Mhm.
um, down. At least 13% would cover. And I'm just throwing out a number, but I mean that seems reasonable enough. But I also hear people like, oh well, shouldn't the U.S. provide foreign aid to countries that we quote unquote invaded? I think yes for a certain period of time, but I truthfully think that if we were to cut back on foreign aid spending, I think that we could have a much better infrastructure in the United States.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure. There are a lot of things that could get cut. Foreign aid, I really don't think. Yeah, a lot of people will go after Ukraine and Israel. There are
Right.
some
Yeah.
countries that I would say, sure, because we invaded and screwed up their country. Yeah, that's a good one to do. But things like Israel, like you said, they don't really need it. You feel what I'm saying? I think other countries that don't need that don't need aid like at all. I'm saying I think we still give. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong about that, but either Taiwan or Vietnam, one of them. I might be wrong about that. Don't take me for it, but I don't think they need it from us either. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll agree with you on that. There's also um I think the last time the Pentagon got audited, it failed. I think it failed the last what 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6, yeah, five or
Yeah,
six
yeah, it failed
times.
last.
Yeah.
So all that money that's we're leaving on the floor there, that can go away. We're also wasting like billions upon billions of other
But do you know
you
where
know
that money goes that's like unaccounted for?
the money
And
that's
this is,
unaccounted for is either wasted or people just straight out taking it. Let me tell you, I was in the
yeah, I was gonna
military,
say,
right?
yeah, that might just be the conspiracy theorist in me,
Yeah,
but like I
it
feel
is a
like that
conspiracy
it's the
theorist to me
polit.
as well because let me tell you, I
Yeah,
was in the military, right? And
same. I
when
was a 8404 corpsman in the Navy for 5 years.
yeah, I was an egress in the Air Force for 6. So
Oh hell yeah!
when I used to talk to them about hey, am I gonna get on certain deployments and orders stuff like that? They'll be like, oh, there's no money and stuff like that. And I'm like,
For real.
I used to tell a contractor, right, just level with me. The people who work in contract, I say level with
Oh
me.
yeah.
What's going on with the money? And they were like, listen, I don't want to get discharged dishonorably. It's some funny business, but that's all I'm gonna tell you. You know what I
Dude,
mean? That's all I'm gonna tell you. So it's
I was
like,
stationed at Paris. I was stationed at Paris Island, and I wanted to go West Coast because I wanted to go on deployment with the Comfort, and they're like, "Yeah, it's not in the budget." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, I'm a single sailor. Like, I don't have any ties. Like, nothing. Like, you buy me a plane ticket, I'm out there. Like,
yeah,
how can't you afford a $200 plane ticket? You know what I mean? And so like like all the money that's
not in the budget.
missing in the audits is crazy, brother. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy.
And
And
that
look, like
that
I enjoyed
alone,
my time in the military. It gave me a lot of benefits. It's paying for my master degree right now. I'm not an anti-military. Well, I'm anti-imperialism. The way that we do
right?
the military, I'm against that. But I'm not anti having a military. We're a nation. We got to have one.
Oh yeah, no,
So it's
absolutely.
like I'm not anti that. It's just that the way that let me give me 1 second. Hey, that one I do see your request. I'm gonna get to you right after I get to him. I'm just doing one person at a time right now. But yeah, with when it comes to them, like there's a lot of artists failing. There's a lot of people in the military who work very hard
Oh
who
yeah,
cannot get raises because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like all the like people like us, the grunts, the E's. I left as
yeah,
an E6. You know what I mean? Like all of us E's, we're I left as a staff sergeant. So it's like,
yeah. I left the E5 HM2.
yeah, you see,
So
like all of us, we should be getting these raises, but it's like
yeah,
it ain't happening. You
it's
know what I
not
mean?
happening.
So
And
it's
honestly, that money that's left on the Senate floor, or
mhm,
that's disappeared, so they say, um, that alone probably could pay for universal health care for at least the disenfranchised. Like, I mean,
mhm.
but
You know what else it is? I think here's the thing. I'm not against democracy, but the way that we do our government, you see how there's always this kind of gridlock.
oh
We
yeah,
need to do a difference of a voting system because
yeah,
like at the end of the day, we have two big parties, right? And because
yes,
of those big parties, there's gonna be a whole bunch of committees. And because of all those committees, certain laws can't pass because it can't get past a committee. Because if it does pass, that committee would be unnecessary anymore. There's a lot of like Obama
right,
did an interview on it, like doing this will threaten this person, and they sit on this committee and this committee and that, you know what I mean? All
absolutely.
that gridlock.
I
We need
just
to
feel like
have
our
preferential
government.
voting, but that's another thing. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad. Go ahead.
right. No, I'm sorry. I feel like our government needs to stop walking on eggshells around each other. That it's become too volatile. And again, that's why I waste my vote every year. I vote third party every year.
Man,
Um,
listen, I've been wasting my vote. I think since Obama's second term, I've been wasting my vote. I just been voting third party all the way. You know what I'm saying? In 2012, because that was the first time I actually wasted my vote in 2012 because it's like he really disappointed me. You know what I mean? With the way that he handled the Middle East. And I was like against that anyway. So it's like that really disappointed me. So ever since then, I've been third party voting. I've
same.
been down ballot voting. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I've been
same.
paying attention more to the local than the federal stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
see, that's another thing that people like. A, a lot of people I've noticed a lot in my friend groups and stuff. People are like, "Oh, it's Biden's fault. It's Trump's fault," and it's like, I mean, yeah, in a way, but at the same time, like, did you vote for your mayor? Did you vote for your sheriff? Did you
Exactly.
vote for your Senate seat? Did you vote for your congressman? Like, if you're not voting for the changes that you want to see that affect your life directly
Mhm.
at the lower level of governments, like you're not gonna see the change in big government. I promise you that. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, you have to vote for your school board, like your board of education director, like all these positions that you can vote for. You have to vote for them, because if you don't, you're not gonna see a change in big government. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like us as just like American citizens, like, just people in general. Like, we have to vote for the people that have the best interests at heart. And it's, I understand that it's kind of tough sometimes when it comes to politicians, because they're natural born liars. And it's I hate to say it like that, but I've never really met an honest politician, so to speak. But I mean, Christ, my cousin is Jim Jordan, and I can't stand the motherfucker. Like, oh, excuse my language. Sorry.
No, no
Um,
problem.
I can't stand him. Like, he's
Yeah.
he's my like my second cousin.
Oh wow.
He's my dad's first cousin,
Ah,
uh,
okay.
but I can't stand him, and
Yeah. I can't blame you.
I didn't vote. Yeah, I didn't vote for him. I didn't. I vote for the change that I want to see, and I
Mhm.
think that's what a lot of people need to do.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Um,
We need to pay more attention to the locals, and also like you'll be surprised how much power your local government has in your state. Like for example, like I grew up
True.
in Florida, right, and I still live in Florida, and a lot of the issues that we have down here within like the black communities down here, because a lot of black communities down here still face a lot of redlining. You see what I'm saying? So like we like in the state of Florida, like we a lot of the local politicians, the Democrats, they wanted like a little bit more funding to the schools and everything like that. So
Right.
like the governor that we had at the time, he said, okay, if you vote for this policy, then in the budget, I'll make sure that the funding goes to these communities, the communities that are more deserving, the low income black communities, right?
Right.
So okay, they said, okay, we'll vote for the policy. But the thing is that people don't realize is that the governor of Florida has line item veto. You see what I'm saying? So that means he can remove things from the budget that he doesn't want once it gets to him. And guess what he did? Once it
Oh,
got to him and they voted for the policy that he wants to vote for, but that money that was supposed to go to those less deserved these low income areas, he removed it from the budget. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
right.
your governor has a lot of power. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Your sheriff, the way that like for example, this entire thing that I have with police, a lot of that is controlled by your attorney general. You see what I'm saying? Because they're the ones who control how prosecutions happen, which laws they're gonna prosecute, things like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like these things you have to remember to vote for, and a lot of people just kind of let it go to the wayside. You feel me?
And that's what I keep trying to preach to like all my friends and stuff, because they're like, oh, Trump 2024, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, you can vote for Trump, do whatever you want, but like, what about you know so and so for the board of education? Like, what about so and so for sheriff? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, what about so and so for county? Like, that has so much weight behind it, and people just like, whatever. And like, it's, I mean, I've noticed it in my area. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure it might not be this all over the place, but like in my area, I see like a lot of, you know, people my age. Again, I'm 30, but like I see a lot of people my age. They don't vote for like anything but the president. And it's like, okay, but you guys aren't even paying attention to what's going on in your local circuit. Like,
Exactly.
and it holds so much weight. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
It
yeah,
holds a lot of weight, so people need to pay attention to that. Let me. We down to the wire.
yeah.
So you have
I was,
any last things for me, bro?
yeah, no, I was gonna say sorry I wasn't opposition
No problem.
for your live. I just wanted to come and hear what your um, opinions were on universal healthcare, and I appreciate you having me up here and not being like super argumentative. It's refreshing on this app.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Like, I appreciate you. Make sure to follow me. I'll follow you back. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna throw you a follow, and I'll join your live, and I'll be here in your comments, man.
No problem. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Okay. Back to Liberty. I do see you. Give me a moment. All right. I just got to reset real quick. All right, Liberty. I'm bringing you up. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. 20 minutes. Go ahead and talk to me. What you got?
So wealth tax on assets over 50 million, I don't see that working. It seems like a vanity thing to say. Because it's unrealized gain.
Mhm.
And so that that one is very totalitarian state. Totally against that. Abolish the prison industry.
Mhm.
That's not a bad idea. I'm not against that. Universal health care, definitely against it.
Mhm.
It's you could do it in your state. No, I'm not against it. Let me take that back. I'm not against it. If you want to do it in your state, I think Massachusetts has done that. I don't think they reversed any of it, so it must be not. It must be doing well. You can do it in your state, so no, I'm not against that. I'm against the reparations, legal and safe access to abortion. I'm for that. Companies that knowingly put out unsafe products equals jail for the board. The board of directors doesn't have access to the production of the products. They don't actually have direct decision, so I'd be against that.
Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and start with the first thing you said. You said that it's totalitarian, right? Let me ask you, is it so do we live in a totalitarian state because you pay property taxes?
No, this is wealth tax you're talking about.
Right. Is the
It's
your
different.
house
Wealth
is
taxes are different.
right, but isn't your house considered part of your wealth?
Yeah, but you're not
Mm-hmm.
taxing me on the asset. It's
Yeah,
just
we are.
no.
Okay, so the taxes on your house, that's not a tax on your asset?
Well, so it's my house isn't worth $50 million. It says over $50 million.
Correct. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't be right. So we already what I'm saying about the wealth tax, we already do that with houses. So what I'm saying is that I understand that rich people need to pay, property taxes on their houses as well. What I'm saying is that once their assets go over $50 million, then we tax it the same way we do houses.
Well, yeah, that's totalitarian.
Why is it not totalitarian that we do it for property taxes?
Because see, it's the house is actually a it's a tangible asset. What other assets are you talking about? Wealth is a definition of like at a point in time. It isn't what asset is over 50 million that you want to tax?
Their stocks, their homes.
Well, see, their stock they haven't sold, so how can you tax it?
You
We
haven't sold
already
your
talked
house, and
about homes. Their homes are already have property taxes.
right. So the thing is, well, any other assets that go over 50 million, that I would say, but
Yeah, you're
we ta-
saying, and that's why I'm saying it's very totalitarian. It's almost communistic. So there's no there's no value to it yet until it's sold.
but we do the same thing to your house. So what's the difference?
No, but the stock has is day to day. So what? How would you value it?
The same thing we do to your home.
No, the property taxes are just an assessment. So you're going
Hmm.
to say that I'm just saying it's totalitarian. I mean, I don't really think property taxes are something we should be doing either. But so what you're trying to advance it, and you want to act like you're not a tyrant.
No, that wouldn't be tyranny. Is
Yeah, it
Germany a
would be.
tyranny? Is
It would
Germany a
totally
tyranny?
be tyranny.
All right, but Liberty
Yeah,
is
because you need. Why
hold
don't
on,
we just
hold on,
why
Liberty.
don't we
That's
just cut
wait,
the spending?
Liberty. Hold on. Answer this question for me.
You're a tyrant.
Is is Germany a tyranny?
Germany is a democratic socialist state.
Correct. And they have this.
So what? I'm totally against it.
Okay, but you said
That
you
doesn't
said this
mean
is
you're not a
wait,
tyrant,
hold on,
dude.
hold on,
You're
hold on,
still
Liberty.
being a tyrant.
Wait, hold on, Liberty. You said that I'm being a tyrant, but
Yeah.
a country which you says is not tyranny is doing this. So what are you saying?
No, it's still tyrannical. You're just trying to think that you're all cool taking from rich people, but it's on paper.
I
There's
don't
no
think I'm
value
cool
to
taking
the
from
stock
rich
is
people.
just a second. Stocks are actually third level, like third party. Like it's
Mhm.
not even a direct value. It's just sort of tracking something. So you don't even have any sort of direct correlation to value.
Let me ask
But
you
see,
a question.
the
Hold on,
property is
wait,
tangible.
Let me ask
The
you a question. Let me
stock
ask you a question.
isn't. The stock
Liberty,
doesn't transfer into owning the company.
let me ask you a question.
Do you
Actually, yeah,
understand what I just said?
I understand what you just
The
said, and
stock
actually,
does not direct
wait,
ownership.
Liberty, hold on. Stocks can directly for owning a. You said
No, they
stocks don't
don't. You
directly
don't
mean
own a part of the
Liberty.
company.
Hold on. You said stocks don't mean that you own the company, right?
Yeah.
How is Jeff Bezos one of the richest people in the world? Then he doesn't own Amazon.
It's only on paper, dude. He's only rich based on your assessment of that they
Of
think his wealth is, but he
of his
owns a lot of
stocks, right?
property.
So hold on. Bezos is not one of the
Yeah,
wealthiest men in the world.
you're still trying to
Hold on,
attack something.
Liberty. Listen to my question. Is Bezos not one of the wealthiest people in the world due to his stocks?
I don't even know now. I don't know his mix.
Yes, he
And
is.
so what if he
Because
is?
he owns the majority of Amazon, and his
Yeah,
stocks
but
are worth that much. So hold on, and you said that it's not
worth
tangible.
that much
How
when?
if it's hold on? You said it's not tangible, correct? How can you borrow something that's not tangible?
It's just that's just called margin call. That's just margin. So if I'll tell you, I will lend out my stock so somebody can do a leveraged deal. So I would,
Mhm.
oh God, my banker days. Do you understand repos?
Yeah, you don't pay it, they take their shit back.
No, investment banks. So structured finance, basically, instead of owning the stock, I borrow the stock. So then Jeff Bezos makes that money, makes a little point spread off of owning because he lent the stock out. So that's just basic. That's just basic leverage finance. So that's all. That's how that happens. So somebody
Right, but he
takes
can.
use of the stock.
But he can borrow against it, right?
Sure.
Right. So how is it not
What do
tangible
you
if he can
mean,
borrow against it?
right? Why are you saying right? So what?
Liberty, they told me to kick you off. Sorry,
I
I
don't
do
care. You're a
apologize.
fucking
Yeah.
asshole. You're just a
All right.
fucking
Sure.
prick.
Sure.
You're a fucking prick.
Suck my dick.
You're a prick.
All right, y'all. So that one, I'm sorry that I didn't bring you up earlier. I was gonna bring you up for that one, but I'll bring you up now. I'm just doing a one-on-one. I know you wanted to talk to her that one, but I'm just doing a one-on-one right now.
Hey, I'm here, man. Sorry, I was just. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. My bad.
All right, one sec.
I know you want to come up with when she was here, but I was just doing a one-on-one for that time. But yeah, what you got, brother?
Well, I just don't think you're going far enough.
You think I'm going far enough?
No, man. And when she said that thing about that's almost communistic, and I was like, who's gonna tell her?
Yeah, yeah. A communist state, these things wouldn't even exist. So it's
who's gonna tell her?
it's a
That,
stateless
like,
money society, so there is no money. You know what I mean? So, oh man, I actually want to get into that once we moved over into like reparations and stuff like that. So it was kind of funny.
I mean, you don't have land back on there.
Oh yeah, I don't. Because the only reason why I don't is because I'm not sure how to argue that. I don't it's something that's probably you would be better at than I would, because I'm not sure how to do that or like what it fully means. You see what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, I'm thinking more of a position of these folks, even these folks have been living here for thousands of years in general, not thousands, but like a couple of decades and about 100 years. I understand that used to be Native American land, but what do we do with these people now? Like what happens? You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to argue that. That's why I don't have land back there.
So what I would say about that is that land back right is about the return of the commons, right? They're not trying to take anybody's personal property. That's not the goal of land back, right? The goal of land back is to ensure that we have a future that's livable, right? And so we have to make sure we hold something in reserve. And there's a proud American tradition of that, right? Like we recognize that we need to hold on to things and preserve things like the nature and the land so that it's not all gone by the time our grandkids get access to it, right? Like,
Okay.
so land back is about like, because this is the other thing is land back means companies can't violate the like the value of our like globe and land and human rights, because those are things that have to be held in reserve for future generations, right?
Gotcha.
Like instead of counting profits on futures and the commodification of human beings, right? We recognize, and I, you know, at this point, I don't even really consider myself much of a commie. I'm more of an anarchist, but
Mhm.
it's but it's no lies detected when it comes to communism. Just because I don't totally want to like cooperate with people doesn't mean they don't have what I would consider to be the moral high ground. At least in communism and socialism, they consider ethics.
Gotcha.
Whereas in capitalism, that is impossible. Capitalism cannot be ethical.
That's what I've always said is that my primary criticism of capitalism is profit over people, meaning money is more important than people. That's why number 7 is up there, because if we look at the situation with Boeing right now, the board knew this shit was happening. They knew it. They're the ones who ordered it. They knew that people would get injured or get deleted in their product, but they still put it out there. So it's like you planned for us to get unalive in your product. You should go to jail. You see what I'm saying? Because anybody else, like if I were to give you a soda, knowing that there's poison in that soda, and I just gave it to you, and I said, give me a quarter, I'll give you the soda, and I know there's poison that's on that I gave it to you, I'm going to jail. You see what I'm saying? But for the board of directors, they're not. Like they just gotta pay a fine. I don't understand that. That's something I don't. Give me 1 second. That one. Give me 1 second. Oh, there was a guest, but I guess they left. I was about to say that for the guest that I'll bring them up soon. But yeah, keep liking keep liking. We're at 4,000 likes. Give me the 5,000, y'all. Keep gifting. Please gift my guests as well, even if you disagree with them. And yeah, but that one, go ahead and keep educating me on land back. So okay, so it's basically the returns of the common, the returns of the people who know what to do with the land are the ones who can control the land. But if Granny, Gertrude owns a house that the land sits on, that's fine. She could stay there. No one's kicking her out the house.
Well, and to be honest, like she doesn't own it during capitalism either. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing that gets me is that
The
with
banks own
land
it.
back, there's actually more personal protections, right? With land back, because the land is owed to the whole community. One of the things that I have talked about with housing that people don't seem to realize is that if housing is provided, right, then me and you could negotiate and trade our housing, and I could vacation where you are and you could vacation where I am. And because the housing is provided, there wouldn't be a risk of us losing our house, right? Like there wouldn't be that danger of homelessness, and we could negotiate with each other over housing, right? Some of us want to live in smaller housing. Some of us want to live in bigger. Some want mountains, some want prairie, some want ocean. And if we had like access to housing, right? Like we had equitable access to housing as a nation, that then people's personal space would be more protected, not less. And when we have these conversations, right, it's always about what communism is going to take from people, right? Like that's always the tact, right? It's like, oh, but they're going to take my stuff. And that's not really at all what happened. What they do is protect your right to have stuff, which capitalism doesn't do. Like it makes a lot of claims, but it doesn't even protect your toothbrush, right? Like capitalism protects nobody from anything.
Yeah, I
Whereas
could see
at
that.
least with socialism and communism, it's in it that it should protect those things. It might not always be successful, but at least it has ethical considerations when talking about these things.
Yeah,
And
and
capitalism just isn't capable of that.
Yeah, that's actually what pushed me to the left a lot because the issue that I had when, because like I told you, I grew up in South Florida, right? The issue that I started seeing about 10 to 15 years ago was the issue of gentrification, right? And I started noticing that these historical black neighborhoods were getting gentrified, like Little Haiti, like Overtown, like Liberty City. These are historical black neighborhoods, and yeah, they've gone to the wayside. But and I do understand fixing those areas. However, I started noticing that they're fixing these areas, right? But the prices of the homes they're pricing the people out. And the people who built those neighborhoods, instead of them enjoying, more of the businesses, more of the infrastructure that comes in, they're just priced out and being replaced by other people. And now they can't afford to live where they grew up. And or if that doesn't happen, they become homeless. So I started to say, yo, with gentrification, it's causing homelessness, it's causing displacement of people. These are actual issues that we need to talk about. You know what I mean? And when these black neighborhoods are historical, Overtown is very, very important to black history. So if we can have these statues of Confederate traitors, why can't these people have these historical neighborhoods as well? And every single time I was always said, well, the money. You know what I mean? Hey, these people own the property now, so whatever, money. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, that's when I realized capitalism is more about profit over people. You see what I'm saying? It's not about actually helping someone out. As long as you make a profit, that's all that matters. You see what I'm saying? If people get damaged to that end, oh well, you made the profit. You see what I'm saying? And I think that was because I used to be like more in the center, but that right there, realizing that pushed me more to the left because I realized that, just like you said, capitalism can't be ethical. And give me 1 second before you respond. Give me 1 second. Acer, I do see you. Give me a few minutes more with that one, and I'll get to you. Okay? Acer, do not unrequest. I'm still here. I see you. I'll get to you next. But go ahead and that one. Let me know if you have any last things to say before I bring the next person up.
Yeah, sure. I just want to talk about too, there isn't stuff being taken from you, right? It's about having your basic needs being met. And that's actually, unfortunately for this model, that's good capitalism. Because we don't seem to realize as a society that having people have their needs met, like housing, like healthcare, like education, like access to clean drinking water, access to clean food, these kinds of things, these make better workers every time.
Yes.
Vacation days make better workers. Sick days make better workers.
Mhm.
Like you don't become a better worker by working overtime, especially in America, because the amount of wage theft that happens at minimum wage and the amount of wage theft that happens overtime, these aren't benefits for people, right? These are opportunities for them to be robbed of the value of their work. And that's capitalism. That's not
Exactly.
happening in socialist or communist ideas because you have your needs met. Anyway, that's
Gotcha.
it.
I do appreciate you that one. It's always good to hear from you, bro. I'll be
Peace.
live tomorrow as well, bro. All right, Asa, I'm bringing you up right now. Before I let you, Asa, hey everybody, thank you for helping me reach my goal. We at 7K likes right now. If we could get to 10K, get more people in here, I do appreciate y'all. Keep sharing the live, keep liking the live, keep the discussion going. I do appreciate everybody. I do appreciate all my guests as well. Acer, you got 20 minutes, brother. Talk to me.
Oh, I don't think I'll need 20. Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How's it going?
Good. I've been enjoying what I've heard so far, and I think what you guys were discussing, particularly addressed your number 2, your number 5, and your number 7.
Mhm.
But I wanted to talk specifically about 1, 3, and 4, which I don't think really is the core issues that you were discussing have to do about that. This really has to do about Black Americans, which I'm not. I'm not a Black American.
Mhm.
And I think when you're looking particularly at number 1, but also pretty directly number 3 and 4 is you can't have a conversation about reparations or what police perform as a function and therefore the prison industry that we have, you can't really have a meaningful discussion about these things because something's missing. And it's always been missing in American history from what I've learned and what I've seen. And let me
What you think that is?
let's look at the Germans after World War II and their treatment of the Jews in the Holocaust. Okay,
Sure.
so they did pay reparations.
Mm-hmm.
But before they paid reparations, one thing happened in German society that both the German people and the German government did, formally and informally. They did it in their schools, they did it in their monuments and museums and the history they teach. And that's the concept of atonement.
Mm.
They
Mhm.
admitted that
You're right.
a grievance was done, that it was an atrocity,
Mhm.
and that it was unique in history, and that they bore responsibility for it and they were going to try to remedy it. You are not going to have any meaningful actions. I mean, just look at voting rights. So, I mean, we had 13th and 14th Amendment that tried to address Black people in America as humans and citizens with the right to vote. They then passed a Civil Rights Act in the 1860s, late 1860s.
Mhm.
It was legislation, and then again in the 1960s, and
Mhm.
it's still an issue. It's still not done.
Still an issue.
Why?
Yeah.
You can pass laws and have court decisions till you're blue in the face until you get a public and governmental sense of atonement. It's not going to mean anything. That this was wrong.
Mhm.
And that we acknowledge that this was wrong. There are still people, when you're talking about building Civil War monuments to the generals and everything,
Mhm.
this is denial. It's
Yeah.
not atonement.
And you know what? Like, I completely forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie to you, but no, you're right. There are people who say that because, yeah, they did issue on a so-called apology for slavery, but those for other stuff too. But like, the thing is, just like what you're saying, that concept of atonement, how Nazi memorabilia was removed from public space, how they said that this thing that this government did was completely wrong and we shouldn't do that anymore. You see what I'm saying? Or we should never do that again. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Germany has like a yearly thing that happens when they recognize that it happened and saying sorry, like they do that
Yeah,
yearly.
they have a lot of things, and I haven't been to
Exactly.
Germany, but I have
Exactly.
friends who have, and were extremely moved by things they saw in museums, things that children are taught in schools about the Holocaust, which is far more than we learn here in America about the Holocaust. And there's almost nothing about slavery. And if you look at what's going on in a lot of states right now, they're trying to erase what little history there is.
Exactly.
And atonement is not the same as apology.
Mhm.
How many times has somebody apologized to you that was a half-assed fake apology?
Was half exactly. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
so sorry you felt bad by that, but I didn't mean it.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. No, you're right. You're right. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened because that's exactly what's going on with the government. If you could see, I'm pretty sure you were here for all the comments that passed through. Everybody was saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you didn't go through it. You know what I'm saying? Basically the same thing you're saying. Hey, I'm sorry that happened, but well, you didn't go through it. Let's just move on with
It's
our
not
lives.
atonement, and
Not
it
atonement.
hasn't. It has taken on different characters because we've never atoned for our history. It then morphs into Jim Crow, and today it morphs into the prison population, this new form of segregation, really, and slave labor. And it persists in how we view people in voting rights and how we view people in society. And, I think Black America has a separate place in the society, and so does the indigenous people, which have also been treated similarly. They've been erased more. but you can't
Yeah.
erase the Black American as easily. There is
Yeah.
a more segregated, separate, and unified Black American culture that persists throughout the country. And
Correct.
and so that very separateness always means it's going to be treated separately as a society. And unless we deal with atonement, none of these other things are going to matter.
No, I actually do agree with you there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think just like you said, that's the reason why it's so difficult to get these policies passed, because in the minds of a lot of people, and the majority of them unfortunately are white Americans, they don't see anything wrong. Yeah, I mean, they see that basically the way that that I've realized it is that they see racism ending in 1964. You know what I mean? Once we got the Civil Rights Pact, civil rights, you know, civil rights passed. Yeah, I'm saying, and we felt bad about MLK being assassinated. Boom, racism is over. You know what I mean? But people don't understand that racism is more than just, you know, laws out there that that keeps us in second class citizenship. It's also not just the beliefs, it's also a system. It's
Yeah.
also the effects, because while redlining does not exist anymore officially, because we know banks still do it, but even though it doesn't it doesn't officially exist anymore, the effects of redlining are still around. You see what I mean? The belief
Yeah.
of redlining is still around, which is why we have HOAs still kicking out black people. When I say like the beliefs of redlining are still around, this is why we see stuff like, when you see a group of black people go to a pool in a white area, there's always a conflict, because the mentality of redlining is still around. Basically, the mentality of these people are not supposed to be here. It's suspicious that they're here. You see what I'm saying? That mentality
Yeah.
is still around, and that's what I think a lot of white Americans and a lot of black conservatives are just not recognizing, are just not seeing. Does that make sense?
And I think no matter what laws you pass, what provisions you get, what you try to get, if you don't, from an outsider's point of view, if you don't get atonement first,
Mhm.
none of it's going to matter. People will look for loopholes, look for ways around it. Or you hear this resentful thing that I hear from white people of, what do they want? They got the vote. They got this. They got, and they got, what am I trying to think? The programs from the 60s that gave people a chance to go to school, that gave people admission to jobs,
Affirmative
equal
action.
opportunity provisions, busing. All of those things mean nothing if we don't have atonement first.
Yeah, and that's why every time these type of things happen, the people who benefit from it would be like, for example, affirmative action, which we were talking about before.
That's
After
it.
years
Affirmative
of
action. That's what I was trying to think of.
yeah, exactly. After years of it, we found out that the people who benefited most from affirmative action were white women. You see what I'm saying? So just like you said, without atonement, they found ways around it. And even right now with the DEI policies, yeah, a lot of black people were able to, a lot of people of color, as a matter of fact, were able to get into better positions because they're qualified, and DEI policies help them out. But the main benefactor of DEI policies has been, once again, white women. You see me? So it's like, just like you said, without the acknowledgement of things happening, a lot of these things, even though they'll make it better, we need to get that atonement in order for it to fully be realized.
Yes.
So I completely
remember
agree
the
with you.
word atonement, because atonement means more than just acknowledgement, and it means more than apologize.
It does. It really does. I
Yes.
appreciate you. All right, man.
That's all I wanted to say.
I got you, brother. Like, I do appreciate it. I'm gonna drop you a follow once I get off this live. All right. I do appreciate you.
Okay. And I've appreciated the way you've conducted this. The conversations have been more productive, not the usual stuff you see on TikTok.
Yo, the yelling matches that I've seen are hilarious, bro. They're hilarious. I think
Well, I
the
used
first
to host
conservative
a-
that I had on here, I think that's what she's used to, and that's what was happening. But they've been hilarious.
Yeah, I
It's
used to
silly.
host a lot, and I couldn't control it because it, there are people just looking for a fight out there, and so
Exactly.
it's
That's why I started
it's
doing
not.
these one-on-ones more because the panels get crazy. Now I do the panels when I get into my religious stuff, but these panels they get insane. You know,
Yeah,
they get crazy. But I do appreciate you, Ace. I'm gonna drop you a
yeah.
follow. All
I'm
right?
Dan, and thank you if you follow me or you don't. I don't know if I'm of interest to you. I remember '64. I'm old. I'm
Wow.
70 years old, so I remember those years, and I remember '68. And the assassinations. So, I mean, I was young. I was still in grade school in '64. I was 10, but '68, I was a high school student. So, at high school, you're old enough to remember this stuff.
Yeah, you are.
And people thought that those were big, revealing, changing times then, and nothing has changed after my whole lifetime. It's still there.
Still there.
And that's just my perspective from being old.
Got you, man. Yeah, I appreciate you, man, and I will talk to you soon. All right.
Take care.
Take care. All right, y'all. I do appreciate it. We're at 9.5K likes. We're at 9.5K likes. I do appreciate that. Get me to 15,000 tonight. Give me the 15,000 tonight. If you can, go ahead and do that. We have 8 people here. I know y'all can do it. We have 9.5K likes. Please get me up there. If you disagree with anything, like the last 3 guests, well, the last two guests agree with everything. So I do want some opposition. If y'all disagree with anything, please come up, and I do appreciate y'all being here. Let's read some of these comments. Yeah, Rhetoric. I'm not sure who you're talking about when you say y'all got $600 a month for a year, because that was for people who are unemployed. That was a program for, and I was employed, so I didn't get $600 a month. Yeah, I mean, also, it should really tell you something that people would rather have $600 a month than to work for these companies. I don't think it means that people are lazy, because people naturally work. People naturally do things. People naturally get up and make something out their lives, right? There's almost nobody who just sits around all day and just eats chips, unless you're watching 600-pound Life or something like that. There's nobody who does that. Almost nobody who does that. So it should tell you something that able-bodied, normal people would rather take that than work for these companies, because these companies are shit. All right? The $600 a month was worth more to them than working for these companies. So you should think about that. So it wasn't just people were just lazing around with $600 a month. $600 a month ain't shit, bro. It ain't nothing, especially around the way I live. In Florida, $600 a month ain't nothing. But they would rather have that than work for these companies. What does that tell you about the company? People just ain't lazy and sit around. We won't have a society if the majority of people were just lazy. People aren't forced to work in this country. Slavery's over. So slavery's not over, but abject slavery is over. We still have prison slavery. So people weren't just lazy sitting around because they weren't forced to work. It's because these companies are shit, and they didn't want to deal with that no more. All right, y'all, but I appreciate y'all. Please keep liking the live. I'm gonna stay on for at least, I would say, another 30 minutes to an hour. Y'all can get me to 15K. I would definitely appreciate it. If y'all could gift me, I'd definitely appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Tax should be abolished. We can't do that unless we have a stateless society. Don't go to prisons if you don't commit a crime. You realize that there are at least a quarter of people who are sitting in jail right now are actually didn't commit the crime. You should look up prosecutorial misconduct. A lot of people aren't sitting in jail right now, plea bargains, who didn't commit the crime. We do have a government. It's just our government sucks. We have a government, bro. They just suck. But like, the things about taxes is that's not gonna happen unless we go stateless. like commit, like if we all commit to becoming an anarchist society, taxes are gonna exist. That's just a thing, man. Hey, country lineman, you always in these type of lives, and let me see, you have the followers, bro. You have the followers to come up. Why don't you ever come up? I'll be wondering that. You always be like commenting on my live specifically. I don't know if you're ever on anybody else's, but I always see you on mine, and you never come up. You never discuss with me. You always stay in the comments. Like, I ain't gonna bite you, bro. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna bite you. I give everybody their time. I give everybody they 20 minutes to talk to me. So, country linemen, please come up if you would like to actually discuss this, because you're always in the comments in my live, but you never actually discuss with me. All right, your name is Ariel, right? Ariel, if you're allowed to come up, you can come up as well. Yeah, Tiger, I'm not a conservative, so yeah. Hey, Tiger, you have enough people, so you can come up as well if you like to discuss. And Ariel, I agree with you as well. I agree with you that abortion is mostly done due to economic. Abortion is tied to economics a lot. Yeah, I mean, more mostly it's tied to economics. Again, country lineman, you do realize that at least a quarter of people who are sitting in jail did not commit the crime. They're in there because of a plea bargain. Please look up prosecutorial misconduct. It happens all the time. So that's not really an argument to me of just don't commit the crime. And not only that, we have to, and in our society, we have to decide exactly what crimes are, because there are plenty of victimless crimes. Do you know that or not know that? No, Chris, it's not less than 1%. I also agree with that. We should be paying for water. In the neighborhood that I grew up in, there used to actually be a fountain of free water. It got cut off. I don't know why that happened. Chris, you're saying that prosecutorial misconduct doesn't happen, or I'm not sure what you're saying is less than 1%. Agreed, Okala. All right, y'all. I'm almost at 10K likes. Please get me there. Please get me to 10K likes. Please keep liking the live. Please keep sharing. No, country lineman. That's not what that means. Again, look up prosecutorial misconduct. What isn't 25%, Chris? All right, Chris. I actually do give it to you. I vastly overestimated it. It's actually around 4 to 6%. It's not 1%, it's 4 to 6. So about 5 to 6 for us, or about 6%, which means 1 out of 20 criminal cases are wrongful convictions, meaning they're not supposed to be in jail. 1 out of 20. So I'll give that to you. 1 out of 20 people in jail are actually innocent, which is still a lot of fucking people. If someone reparations in the background show they are a descendant, they should be guilty of fraud. Yeah, sure. Larry, who had reparations? We know Jewish people got reparations. We know the Japanese got reparations. Larry, you also have enough followers to come up. So why do y'all do this? Y'all be having enough followers. Y'all never actually request to come up and speak to me. That's like really weird. Yo, Toffs, you see that too, right? You see that too, Toffs. Like it's like they scared. Like, come up and talk to me. Y'all be having enough followers. Yeah, I just never say anything. Yeah, comment in the y'all just comment in the live and then what? Y'all just leave or something like that. Like, come up and talk, bro. Like, I really don't understand. Like, I literally give everybody 20 minutes to go ahead and speak. Yeah, I mean, y'all just say something and just clear it. I don't understand. Here's another Larry. Another Larry who has enough followers but doesn't come and talk. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Another Larry who you have enough followers but you don't want to come up and talk. Hey, average, I agree with you. I agree with you. 5% is still pretty awful. 5% is still pretty awful. 5% of our prison population being innocent is still a lot of fucking people. That's pretty awful. You think consumption tax is better than the wealth tax? I'm not sure how we would do consumption tax in this country. Do you think like because one of the things that I've heard was basically we should do consumption tax at 25%. You know, instead of paying $1, you pay $1.25. I mean, instead of paying $1.07, you pay $1.25. Stuff like that. I'm not sure how well that will work because we would have to eliminate income taxes if we do that. You know what I mean? I don't mind consumption tax and I don't mind getting rid of income tax. Okay, average. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not informed completely on it, so I can't really comment back on that. But I do know what you're talking about. It's difficult for me to understand, so I don't understand it completely yet. But like, if you could DM me, then you can explain it to me because I don't know fully what that means yet. So go ahead and DM me and I'll explain that to me. All right. Because I might be on your side. I don't mind consumption tax. Is that I think to do it, we may have to get rid of the income tax because I don't think people would actually pay income tax and then have to pay consumption, a high consumption. You know what I mean? So it might have to offset. But if there's a way to do it, then explain it to me. Definitely. But all right, y'all, keep liking the live. I'm almost at 10K. Let's give me the 10K and then I'll go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Give me the 10K and then I'll go ahead and get out of here. Maybe I won't get 15K this time, but give me the 10K and I'll go ahead and get out of here. I do appreciate y'all being here. I do appreciate all the guests. I've only had one person that was opposition. Everybody else was opposition was just talking in the comments. Y'all was just talking in the comments, bro. Like y'all could have came up. There were several people who disagreed that could have came up and never came up. I don't understand why y'all do that. Why do y'all do that, bro? I'm not gonna bite you. All right, we're at 10K. We're at 10K likes. I appreciate y'all. Toffs, I appreciate you trying to get me to 15. I do appreciate that. We have 10 people here now. I think I'm gonna do a religious live tomorrow because it seems like the religion one, that's the one that really irks y'all nerves and once people get in here. Because y'all don't be want to be talking about this politics one. Hey, this is what I'm gonna do for the next politics one. I'm just put Trump sucks as the next one and see how many people I get for that one. Because when it comes to talking policy, yeah, people, yeah, y'all don't be want to talk about that. I don't get that. Hey, based. Graham agrees with the list. Appreciate you, bro. All right. If there's anyone who's watching right now that disagrees, there's only 7 of y'all in here, but I do appreciate y'all. I do love. I do appreciate all the love y'all giving me. If there's anyone who disagrees, who's gonna come up, I mean, who's gonna join, please come up. There's anyone who disagrees. I would like to have some opposition. These are always hit and miss, man. These are always hit and miss. I'm also live on YouTube. As someone watching on YouTube, I appreciate my watches on YouTube. One is unfair and anti-Semitism. Can you explain why? Unfortunately, I don't think you have enough followers. But I don't know how number one can be anti-Semitic. Please explain why. Was that just a drive-by troll, I guess? Yeah, I guess that was just a drive-by troll. I get those a lot. But someone told me that number one is anti-Semitic, and I'm not sure why they think so. All right, y'all keep tapping that screen to keep tapping that that like button. Subscribe if you would like to subscribe. If you disagree, please come up. I appreciate all the opposition. I appreciate all the guests. I appreciate everybody who's here. I'm at 10K lives right now. I'm at 10K likes right now. I appreciate the people who are watching on YouTube. Please stay. Please interact with the conversation if you're on YouTube here watching. All right. So I agree with. I do appreciate you giving me the 15. I appreciate you, bro. Let me see if I can invite anyone because there's a Larry person. All right, for everybody who knew who joined, let me see. I guess the only question I have is who decided who was a former colonizer? History decided. We know who the former colonizers were. I mean, the UK, France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, a little bit. So we already know who the former colonizers were. Like the US as well was a former colonizer. All right, y'all. For anybody who joined, let me know if you agree or disagree. Please keep liking. Please keep sharing. Let me guess. This is gonna be another drive-by troll. Yeah, another drive-by troll. 0 followers. Oh man. If y'all disagree, please come up. Oh, specific family businesses. Yeah, there are businesses. I think Chase Bank was definitely involved. Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, they were definitely involved. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the people watching on YouTube. All right, y'all. I'm just gonna stay for 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna go ahead and end the live. I did hit the goal of 10K likes. Right now, still say I'm at 10K likes. Not sure if we could get even more, but I'm staying on here only for a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. T-Bone 1345. What about them? No, you can't come up. You done at least 3,000. I think TikTok is counting you as spam. That's why it's not doing it. TikTok must be counting you as spam, bro. That's why you're not doing it. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm at 10K. I'm happy with it. I'm trying to hit 10K consistently. I'm trying to do these lives consistently, so it's not a problem. Oh, you disagree with 1, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Well, unfortunately, T-Bone, you can't come up, so you can't really discuss it. But 1, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see. So you would disagree with reparations. Why do you disagree with abolishing the prison industry? Oh, Toffs, it means that if TikTok sees that you're hitting the like a lot on a certain live and you've been here for a while, they're not gonna count the likes because they think that you're spam, essentially. Here's what I always say. For people who don't agree with number 3, why do y'all like the prison industry? Because this affects everybody. This literally affects everybody. The prison industry is an industry that incentivizes putting people in jail, which is why we have a lot of bullshit laws around, marijuana and stuff like that. Why do y'all want that around? That's really weird. Why should I get reparations? I should get reparations from France specifically because they're the ones who enslaved my ancestors and ruined Haiti royally. So that's why I should get reparations from France. Also, the United States, when they invaded Haiti back in 1915, they took 1/3 of the gold. They set up Citigroup and ruined the society completely. Look up the United States invasion of Haiti during 1915 and 1935. So the United States owes Haiti, and France owes Haiti. Yeah, I know. That's why I said France should pay us reparations as well. France should not only pay reparations to Haiti, they should pay it to St. Lucia, Dominica, they should pay it to Senegal, they should pay it to Mali. What else is another one? Oh, Cameroon, the DRC. I got age restricted, y'all. My live got age restricted, so now I'm gonna have to go ahead and end it soon because my live got age restricted. Yeah, very weird. Oh, Sean can't come up. Sean can't come up. Too bad. Too bad you can't come up, Sean. That probably would have been a good conversation. So I appreciate you, bro. I'll see you soon. And I am gonna get out of here. I'm gonna give it like probably one more minute because now that it's age restricted, not a lot of people are gonna be able to see it. So I'm gonna get out of here soon. And I do appreciate you, Toph. I do appreciate you. Do appreciate all the people here to get me that got me to 10K likes. I'm gonna have another one tomorrow, and it's probably gonna be a religious one. Let's see. No, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, yes. What are your two no's? Your two no's. I know the first one is reparations. Yes, yes. Are you saying no to defund the police? Am I right about that? Well, K-Check, you have enough followers. You could probably be my last person. Hey, K-Check, do you want to come up? You can request unless you're suspended. This is what I'm saying. Why do y'all just why do y'all just talk in the comments, bro? Like, do y'all want to talk about these issues or not? My goodness, why do y'all do that, bro? Not K-Check, do me a favor, do me a favor. Like, stay here for a second. Seriously, why do y'all do that? Y'all would say something in the comments, but you won't discuss it with me. Why? Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all bother even commenting then? Like, I'm not gonna eat you. Like, for real, we're on a screen. We could talk. Anyone who's been here before knows that I'm very, very fair, even to the opposition. I'm very fair to them. Like, I don't understand that, yo. Y'all come in, y'all say what y'all disagree with, but y'all don't want to have the discussion. I don't want to talk. I don't get that. Why do y'all bother? Oh, bad. Yo, Toss, I'm very civil. I am very civil. I'm very fair. Oh, you're trying to? Okay, well, if you're trying to sleep, that's fair. I got you. Because right after this, I'm gonna go to sleep too. So if you're trying to sleep, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll get that to you. Okay, the religious topic that I'm gonna have tomorrow. The religious I'm going to have tomorrow will likely be this one. I'm gonna have probably this religious topic tomorrow. So y'all come through for that. I already know that, you know, people are gonna hate me for this one because it seems the religious one always brings people out. That one brings people out like crazy. So this one gonna have tomorrow. All right. So y'all enjoy that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Tulsa, I appreciate you. I appreciate all people who are here. I appreciate any opposition that was here. And I will see y'all later. Remember that Black is beautiful. Love yourself. Love life. Have a good night.